Wide receiver is the deepest position of all positions in fantasy football. And if I had to guess, I would think that almost every single week this season, you're going to stare at your lineup and have a decision to make on which wide receivers you should start. So today we're going to be talking about the quick and dirty top 30 wide receivers for week 1 in fantasy football. But full disclosure, I honestly believe that I can make a case for like 45, maybe even 50 wide receivers to be inside the top 30. However, I still haven't figured out how to fit 45 names into a list that only has 30 lines. It's kind of like being a teenager, right? When they see the trash is full, but they have something to throw away, do they voluntarily take out the garbage and take it out to the street and put in a new bag? No, they take what they have in their hand and they just shove it down in there as hard as they possibly can. That is exactly how I felt trying to make these rankings. Now, hopefully after week 1, we'll get a little bit of clarity with a few of these teams and make this process a little bit easier. But before we get into the rankings, I have to announce a winner for the signed Christian McCaffrey jersey that we gave away for a video hitting its like goal about a week or so ago. The winner of that jersey is none other than Tyson Allen 1232. Congratulations, Tyson. Do me a favor, send me an email to info@thefantasyheadliners.com from that Google account right there. We'll get your account verified through Pristine Auction, and I'll send you over that sweet jersey. Now, we also have more items coming up each and every week to give away, so be sure you stay tuned and get your account signed up through Pristine Auction right now. Just be sure when you do so that you use the referral code Headliners so we can throw a coupon into your new account, so when you go out there and you bid on a sweet item, you get yourself a little bit of a discount. But all right, let's head into the rankings here. Let's just start off at number 1, because I'm pretty sure everyone knows who the number 1 wide receiver is. And just like I always say in all of our rankings videos, remember, this is a quick run through. If you're looking for more detailed information on these matchups, those are over in our start sit videos, so be sure to check those out as well. They're already up on the channel. But as you can see, it's Justin Jefferson right here, top of the list. Really no reason to drop him down from that top spot. Hasn't done anything to not deserve being there. How about number 2? It's Tyreek Hill. Going to be a lot of offense back and forth against the Miami Dolphins and Los Angeles Chargers. Plus Tyreek Hill says he wants 2,000 yards this season. Let's see if he can start that quest in week 1. How about number 3? It's Amon-Ra St. Brown, hashtag Doomtar, down below in the comment section, going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, whether the Chiefs have Kelsey or not, this is still a Patrick Mahomes-led offense that can put up points in bunches, which means a lot of targets going the way of Amon-Ra St. Brown to keep pace. I got him at number 3. Number 4, Jamar Chase. Luckily, we have Joe Burrow out there week 1 because they're opening up their season on the road in Cleveland. Still love Jamar Chase and that connection with Joe Burr. Number 5, CeeDee Lamb. This one is really based on volume and volume alone. He sees so many snaps out of the slot. I love his potential week in and week out with a matchup this week going up against the New York Giants. Number 6, this is where I have A.J. Brown of the Philadelphia Eagles going up against the New England Patriots. Now, the Patriots defense probably going to be better than the Patriots offense, but nobody could really slow down this Eagles offense last season, and I expect A.J. Brown to pick up where he left off. Which will then take us over to Garrett Wilson, wide receiver, New York Jets, in a matchup this week going up against the Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football. Everybody's been looking forward to this Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson connection. We're going to see it here this week. Number 8, this is where I have Chris Olave. He has a great matchup going up against Tennessee, which couldn't stop any wide receivers last season. Now we have Derek Carr in that deep ball quarterback play in New Orleans. Fits perfectly for Chris Olave to find that big play touchdown here in week 1. That's why he's at number 8. Number 9, Jalen Waddle. Like I said, a lot of offense in this game against the Los Angeles Chargers. Number 10, Stephon Diggs. Yes, a little bit lower for Stephon Diggs this week, but it's a very difficult matchup going up against one of the better defenses in the league, the New York Jets, and I do expect Sauce Gardner to be out there on Diggs throughout this matchup. But then we go down to number 11. It's Calvin Ridley of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, he's ranked inside the top 12 for a reason. He's going up against Indianapolis, whose secondary right now is absolutely woof on paper. Calvin Ridley is going to have a chance to eat this week. Number 12, Davante Adams, a difficult matchup on the road in Denver. What does this new look offense look like in Las Vegas? So many people out there want to really push for Davante Adams to be what he has been for years. years. Remember, despite not loving Davante Adams this year, it was because of his draft price, right? We don't overpay on draft day. But now that the season has started, I can still see him hovering right there around the top 12 each week. Then we have number 13. It's Keenan Allen of the Los Angeles Chargers in that matchup going up against Miami. If I was expecting a lot of offense for the Miami wide receivers, you gotta believe that the Chargers receivers have that same opportunity. Got Keenan Allen at 13. 14 is Amari Cooper. He's still the number one wide receiver in this offense. And even though they've added more pieces this year, he's still going to lead the team in target share in a matchup going up against Cincinnati, who we know can put points on the board. Number 15, it's DK Metcalf with a matchup going up against the Los Angeles Rams. Now, news has already come out that Jackson Smith-Njigba is going to play. Is he going to play a full set of snaps? That's really to be determined right now, but DK Metcalf in a matchup against a lower tier defense now in LA, got him at 15. 16 then, that's going to be Devontae Smith, wide receiver of the Philadelphia Eagles in that matchup going up against New England. We really saw this guy turn it on late in the 2022 season and would love to see him get involved early in 2023. Got him at 16. 17 then, it's T. Higgins of the Cincinnati Bengals in that matchup going up against Cleveland. We've seen for years that T and Chase can coexist. He's still at 17. 18 is DJ Moore in a matchup here this week at home going up against the Green Bay Packers. Not the easiest of defenses to go against, but the way they're going to move DJ Moore around the field is going to give him that opportunity to get the ball in his hands and see if he can come up with some yak yards. He's at 18. Now on to number 19. I have Jahan Dotson at number 19 in a great matchup going up against one of the worst defenses in all of the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals. Plus, Terry McLaurin is still limited with a turf toe injury. Even if he does play, I don't expect him to see a full set of snaps, which means a lot more. Jahan Dotson got him at 19. Number 20 is where I have Tyler Lockett. Due to the fact that I'm still not sold that JSN sees a full set of snaps, love Tyler Lockett's touchdown upside this week. 21, Christian Kirk, Jacksonville Jaguars. I mentioned this when we talked about Calvin Ridley. The defensive secondary for the Indianapolis Colts is just not that great. And when we're looking at the offensive firepower that they have in Jacksonville, both Kirk and Ridley could eat in week 1. Then we have number 22. It's Deebo Samuel in a difficult matchup for him going up against Pittsburgh, but I honestly dropped him a couple spots because now all of a sudden it sounds like George Kittle could be good to go in this matchup. That's going to limit the overall ceiling of the wide receivers. Number 23, this is where I've dropped Christian Watson to. He was up there in the mid-teens, and then all of a sudden on Wednesday, popped up on the injury report with a hamstring injury. Now, he has not been ruled out just yet, but he is definitely a name we're paying close attention to. 24, DeAndre Hopkins in his first start as a Tennessee Titan on the road in New Orleans. He should see a decent target share, but I just don't know if we see the touchdowns in Tennessee here this year. That's why I got him at 24. 25 is where I have Sky Moore of the Kansas City Chiefs. Thursday Night Football against the Detroit Lions. Patrick Mahomes is going to have to throw it to somebody. Whether or not Travis Kelce is out there, can Kadarius Toney stay healthy? The one guy that I really see in this offense with consistent targets this week could be Sky Moore, and that's why he's at 25. 26, Chris Godwin, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in a great matchup for them to start the year against the Minnesota Vikings. What does this offense look like post Tom Brady? Is Chris Godwin the guy? Is Mike Evans the guy? Can both of them coexist together? We still don't know. Godwin seems to be a little bit more of the volume guy right now, so I put him at 26. 27 then is Mike Williams. He's currently healthy, and when he's healthy, he can put up points for your fantasy football team in a game that should be full of points. Got Mike Williams at 27. 28 is Deontay Johnson in that difficult matchup going up against San Francisco. Really looking at Deontay Johnson to continue the target share that we've seen him have for years now in Pittsburgh. Going to see right around 8 targets or so, but can he find the end zone this year? He's at 28. 29, this is where I have Brandon Ayuk. I would like to have him a little bit higher, and really I did prior to the news about George Kittle dropping. With George Kittle more than likely playing, drop Brandon Ayuk down to 29, and then 30, this is where I put Drake London of the Atlanta Falcons. Honestly, don't love the passing offense in Atlanta, but Drake London should be the guy that leads this team in targets, and if they can find a way to get down inside the red zone, I love his chances at scoring a touchdown this week. That's why he's at number 30. But like I said in the beginning of the show, there's at least 45 wide receivers. I feel pretty confident in my debate skills that I could make a case for at least 45 wide receivers to be up inside the top 30. So this is what I did. I cheated just a little bit. Here's the list of names who are just outside the top 30 looking in, guys that I really wish I could make room for. The first one, Kadarius Toney, for obvious reasons, right? We want a piece of this Kansas City offense. Adam Thielen, I expect him to be the binky of Bryce Young, and for a rookie quarterback just starting his career, he looks for his binky. That could be Adam Thielen. Michael Pittman, the true number one guy in Indianapolis. Not a whole lot of options in Indianapolis, and Anthony Richardson's going to have to throw the ball somewhere. Michael Pittman just on the outside. What about Courtland Sutton in Denver? Now, honestly, I'm not a huge Courtland Sutton guy, but with all the injuries to all the wide receivers in Denver, I expect him to have a decent target share. Mike Evans, another wide receiver that has huge touchdown potential. Really, the only reason he's this low is because we don't know what to expect from the quarterback play in Tampa Bay. What about Gabe Davis? A lot of attention going to be going the way of Stephon Diggs, but we know the Buffalo Bills are going to score a few points. Gabe Davis is always a guy that can get that big play touchdown and really sink your fantasy team if you don't start him. Problem is when you start him, he puts up like a big fat 3 in that column and doesn't help you a whole lot. What about George Pickens? The guy is all over the field making ridiculous catches almost weekly, it feels like. How about Jordan Addison? I said in the start sit video that I see a clear path to at least 8 targets this week for Jordan Addison, and I can't even get him inside the top 30. And then Terry McLaurin. He's not included either because of the turf toe injury. But by the time we get to the weekend, if he's a full go, he should probably be somebody that's in that argument as well. But I guess it's a good thing that we have so many options at the wide receiver position in 2023. So many fantasy football teams out there have solid wide receiver depth, which is great because at this time of the season, you know, throughout the course of the entire 15-game season of a fantasy football league, more than likely you're going to have an opportunity to always have some solid starting wide receivers, and that is a good thing. But let me leave you with this, and I say this in a lot of ranking shows because I think a lot of people forget sometimes. My rankings aren't supposed to match your rankings. When we get together, combine different thought processes, that's when we as a community build great rankings, and that's why we've found so much success. So do me a favor, hit the like button and then leave a comment down below with maybe some things that you see in the rankings that could go a little bit differently. We'll have some great discussions and then together we'll all reap the rewards. But I'm going to get out of here for the day. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day and then do your part to make the world a better place.